Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Friday, October 24th, 2025. Another crossover, and this time with CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful. Danny contacts Ridge Forrester, the head of Forrester Creations, and Ridge says it can't be a good thing if he's hearing from Danny Dupri. In Friday's episode, Danny has an update for Ridge Forrester. The Dupris owe Joey Armstrong a favor or two for his work in helping them out of various situations over the years. Most recently, Kenny, the racist busboy, was removed from the land of the living for them, and Martin asked for a favor to get some help trying to locate Chelsea after she was kidnapped. In Friday's episode, Joey has a twisted yet interesting proposition for one of the Dupris. Joey can almost ask for anything, as those favors all help the Dupris out of some awful situations. We are all waiting with bated breath to see what he has in store for them. It could be argued that Vanessa wants Donald to return to Banneker so she can hide all the ugly bits of her life from him, preventing him from seeing how close she is to Joey. In Friday's episode, Donald and Vanessa clash over his future. Donald wants to stick around to take care of his mom and to learn more about his father and his final days. Vanessa needs to be careful. If she pushes too hard, Donald will smell more than a rat. To close out the week, in Friday's episode, Jacob has a startling run-in, and Chelsea takes matters into her own hands. Jacob is yet to see that his younger brother has rolled into town, and this isn't going to be great. Sure, family is always welcome, but the younger Hawthorne is the black sheep of the family, and he isn't in town to do anyone any favors. As for Chelsea, we are just going to have to wait and see what this young lady is up to. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, hint that Catherine "Cat" Richardson will injure Tomas Navarro, while June gives Tyrell Richardson advice. Tyrell, even sharing a conversation with June at this point, is shocking since he was so reluctant to allow his biological mother into his life. While his sister, Samantha Richardson, was more open to re-establishing a relationship with June when she came back into their lives, Tyrell was adamant that he didn't want to have anything to do with her. In Tyrell's defense, he's older than Samantha, so he probably remembers the substance abuse issues June had and the neglect he endured from his mom during his childhood. With that said, June is working really hard to turn things around, so it sounds like the mother and son will bond. Still, how will Bradley "Smitty" Smith and Martin Richardson feel about this? In all fairness, Martin is okay with June being in Tyrell and Samantha's lives, but Smitty is very hesitant. Will either of them find out about June's interaction with Tyrell, and could it cause issues? Speaking of the super couple, they'll still be enjoying the aftermath of their vow renewal ceremony and romantic reunion, so they may be too busy with some hanky-panky to realize what their son is up to. Elsewhere, BTG spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, suggest Haley Hamilton will be on a mission for some intel, hoping it'll be lucrative. Will she investigate Bill Hamilton's $10 million life insurance policy to ensure there are no cracks or loopholes in the document? She's currently trying to slowly poison her husband to score a massive money win, so it'll be interesting to see what Haley will be up to. Finally, Tomas and Kat will be up to some steamy bedroom activities during Thursday's show. However, whatever they end up doing will land Tomas on the injured list. It's great that these two have their romance back on track, but will the lawyer be okay? Beyond the Gates spoilers note that Tomas and Kat's romance has been on shaky ground from day one, thanks to his friendship with her half-sister rival, Eva Thomas. So will his injury cause further strife in their relationship? On Beyond the Gates, Andre has always seemed like a bit of an enigma, a playboy jet-setter and photographer of exotic models. But what else is this international man of mystery hiding? Danny is having a hard time convincing Andre to model for their business. He turned down the offer the first time Pamela Curtis and Danny brought it up, and it seemed like the man just prefers to be on the other side of the camera. Now that we know Bill Hamilton hired a private investigator to follow Andre around and dig up whatever dirt he could find on him, we are starting to learn more about Andre than he may like. The PI returned to Bill with a relatively simple portfolio of information. There was nothing out of the ordinary except that there were no scandals, nothing online, and he appeared to be doing precisely what a Playboy photographer would be doing. Bill didn't see any value in the information and was about to cancel any further continuation. Then the investigator asked Bill to take a look at what was not in the file. The answer was pictures of Andre. It was explained to Bill that even celebrity photographers like Andre occasionally have their photographs taken, receive invitations to parties, and walk many red carpets. Bill posed the question, maybe he's just camera shy? And the answer was that until a year ago, he wasn't. Before that, he was posing at step and repeats and being seen laughing and dancing at parties. Then all of a sudden, practically nothing. 0 pics of Andre in public at all, save for the one in Vegas getting married to Danny. The investigator thought something was off, or is he just trying to milk some more billable hours off Bill? The fans and viewers of Beyond the Gates were asking themselves that very question and took to the Soap Central message boards to discuss this with their peers. Board user MXS wrote, "He says he does not like modeling, but I think it's more than that. And I don't think he is hiding from some other woman for whatever reason. That would be boring. He does not want his face plastered everywhere. Could he be some kind of undercover agent? Maybe he is there to bring Joey down. And having family there is a great cover. I think his character has become one of the show's favorites, and the writers are going to give him a great backstory. Here's hoping." Board user H. Harriet replied with, "Your theory about Andre is very interesting. I like it. And Andre is one of my favorite characters as of now. I think he's the nicest person on the show. I hope it stays that way. Well, there's no fun in Andre just being a bit camera shy, and it would be a great addition to have Andre become a real character of interest with a compelling backstory, a fan favorite, and more than just an occasional character. Andre is on more times per week than many. Give this man a cool storyline, please." Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Well, Toms did tell Kat that he wanted to try new things in the bedroom, and one thing Kat introduced him to was pain. In Thursday's episode, Kat is consumed with guilt after a passionate night with Tomas, leaves him in a great deal of pain. Accidental for sure, but Tomas is already dealing with the consequences. He won't be entering a wheelchair race with Derek anytime soon. Still, the Latin lover will be a little clearer to Kat in the future. A renewal of the vows has done wonders for the Richardsons. In Thursday's episode, Smitty and Martin bask in their new normal. Being happy together is precisely what we wanted for the couple, and seeing them celebrate their love in front of Ted and Nicole really hit a lot of us in the feels. Now, let's hope we get to see them enjoy this happiness as a much-deserved reprieve from the usual chaos in Fairmont Crest. June missed out on just about all of motherhood and raising Tyrell and Samantha. Still, she is making a massive effort to turn her life around and even has a stable job at Orphe Jeans. Even though her memory often fails her, June is making an effort with the kids now. In Thursday's episode, June doles out advice to Tyrell. Tyrell has been the most standoffish to June, so having her give out some advice may or may not be taken well. Just about every episode is a surprise for fans and haters of Marquita Goings' character Haley. Watching her dispense the clear liquid into Bill's glass and start the process of building up an amount of it in his body to have him have a heart attack was pure evil to watch. In Thursday's episode, Haley embarks on a lucrative fact-finding mission. Vernon is keeping secrets from his wife. Vernon and Anita are one of Beyond the Gates' most popular and sweetest couples. The two aren't shy about expressing their love and loyalty to each other. However, they're about to face marital trouble, and fans fear the worst. Vernon and Anita, aka Vernita, have become BTG's most famous couple. While their children and grandchildren are experiencing relationship drama, the Dupri patriarch and matriarch are a prime example of relationship goals and true love. From the outside, it appears Vernita has a strong marriage, but trouble in paradise could be brewing. On the October 20th episode, Vernon was talking with a mystery person on the phone. He said that he was disappointed he couldn't make their appointment today. Anita came in just as Vernon was hanging up, and he claimed he was talking with his golf buddies. Vernon's secretive behavior has definitely raised eyebrows, and many viewers are fearing the worst. On X, BTG fans expressed their worry that Vernon is having an affair. "I know they ain't gonna have Vernon cheating on Anita," wrote one user. One fan said the show better not be going the cheating route with Vernita. "With all these cheating fools on this show, Vernon Dupri better not be one of them." Another commenter applauded the show, feeling it is keeping fans on edge with Vernon's secret. "This show got viewers emotionally raw. Every time Vernon does something in secret, viewers, he better not be cheating on Anita." It's understandable that fans would assume cheating, as it's a common trope in soap operas and on BTG. Although many don't want to think about Vernon having an affair, anything is possible. Another theory is that Vernon may have had a secret child from a previous relationship before he met Anita. Now his son and daughter are in town and want to be part of the Dupri family. Aside from an affair and a secret child, many fans are worried about Vernon's health. Speculation is that the mystery caller is his doctor, and Vernon has an illness he's hiding from his wife. Anita's been through enough because of their family and Leslie, and he doesn't want to add more stress. However, keeping his health issues a secret will cause more harm than good. Naomi's worry that Jacob will resent her could strain their marriage. The results are in on Naomi's pregnancy test. There will not be a bundle of joy coming to Beyond the Gates. In fact, joy is currently absent from the Hawthorne household due to the stalemate about having children. Jacob is trying to love their way past it, but Naomi is concerned that love won't be enough to hold off the resentment he may harbor over not being a father. Naomi's turmoil over the possibility of being pregnant confirmed to her that she does not want to bring a child into her marriage with Jacob. Motherhood isn't on the list of what will make her happy in life. Naomi's stance puts her at odds with her husband, who clearly wants to be a father. It's important to be open and honest about a desire, or lack thereof, to have children well before exchanging vows. That's so there isn't a heartbreaking stalemate about the issue after a couple has promised their lives to each other. Unfortunately, Naomi and Jacob are dealing with a difference of opinion on parenthood that's often a deal-breaker. While both sides have valid points, no one should have a child or children if they don't want to be a parent. This isn't something anyone can compromise on. You're either going to raise a baby with someone, or you are not. So the choice then is to sacrifice one's own desires to support the desires of one's spouse. Naomi has made it clear she's not going to be the one who does so, leaving Jacob to reconcile with shelving the possibility of being a parent. He told his wife that he can make that choice, that what they have together is enough, but Naomi doesn't believe him. She had to put a stop to their tendency to fall back on intimacy to avoid talking through a problem. Her worry over Jacob's feelings has her in knots. However, her concern could be the very thing that causes trouble in their marriage. Naomi feels whole in her bond with Jacob. Their covenant is bound by their commitment to each other, and she needs nothing but his love to sustain their marriage. However, she's not secure in Jacob's assertion that he feels the same way. Their opposing viewpoints on adding a child to their family of two have shaken the foundation of what she's held sacred. Now, she's not sure if she'll be enough for him, even though he says she is. The fear that Jacob will come to resent her sits at the core of her worry, and it's that fear that could do her marriage in if she's not careful. No one wants to be told how they're feeling or how they might feel down the road. They also don't want to navigate a relationship where the other person is constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. That might be what happens with her and Jacob if Naomi continues to insist that she's taking something from him. It's true that Jacob is losing the possibility of being a father by choosing to spend his life with Naomi. But that's his decision to make, not hers. He could come to resent her, or he could do the emotional work necessary to move past his desire for a child and seek comfort and solace in their love. People make sacrifices for the ones they love every day, and they don't always come to resent those decisions or regret them. If Jacob can accept that Naomi doesn't want children, then she'll have to accept that he's willing not to have them so he can be with her. Acceptance, in this case, is a two-way street. Their marriage will only get back on track if she lets him grieve what could have been without making herself feel terrible for choosing what's right for her. BTG spoilers for Friday, October 24th, 2025, reveal that Danny has an important update to share with Ridge Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, October 24th, 2025, reveal that Danny has an update for Ridge Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful. Danny has an update for Ridge Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful. This could lead to some exciting opportunities. So, what kind of business does Danny have going on with Ridge? Well, he wants her to become the face of a new fragrance line campaign at Forrester Creations. However, there's a twist. He wants her to model with her new hubby, Andre Coye, who's afraid to step in front of the cameras. He claimed that he would rather be the one taking the photos, but this has us wondering what Andre's hiding on BTG. Ridge feels that Andre and Danny's chemistry can't be unmatched. He would love both of them to be the center of the photo shoot. However, Andre is reluctant to step in front of the camera. However, Ridge might be able to persuade him to participate in the campaign alongside Danny. Or maybe Danny has some terrible news for Ridge. Joey has a twisted yet interesting proposition for one of the Dupris. This is an opportunity that they can't refuse. But that's exactly what might happen. After all, should anyone be working with Joey? He's the last person you'd want to do business with. He's shady. What kind of proposition does Joey have? And which Dupri is he looking to work with? Donald and Vanessa clash over his future. Unsurprisingly, they can't agree on what path he should choose. He wants to stick close to home and take care of his mom. However, she needs her son back at school so she can become Joey's equal business partner. This conversation could create further tension in the family, which is the last thing they need at this time. Donald returned to town to find out what happened to his father. Chelsea takes matters into her own hands. Does this matter involve her family, her personal life, or her business? Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, indicate some major moments in Fairmont Crest. Catherine Cat Richardson hurts Tomas Navarro, while June will bond with Tyrell Richardson. Plus, Haley Hamilton has high hopes. Find out what kind of drama is set to unfold on the CBS soap below. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, suggest that the good news is Kat and Tomas's activities in the bedroom are finally on track. The bad news? They'll do something out of the ordinary that ends up injuring poor Tomas. It's great Tomcat has found their groove, but keeping your partner healthy and able-bodied is also an important goal in a relationship too. Will he be okay? Across town, Haley will go searching for some information in hopes that it'll prove to be lucrative. Is she going to dig deeper into Bill Hamilton's $10 million life insurance policy? Then again, this might be about the poison she's been placing in his drinks to trigger a heart attack. Either way, Haley is up to no good, so fans will need to keep an eye on her to see what she does next. In other news, Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday note that Bradley Smitty Smith and Martin Richardson will bask in the afterglow of their reunion. After months of trying to work on their relationship due to the secret in Martin's past coming to light, the two finally found common ground. They decided to give their love another chance and even enjoyed a vow renewal during the Friday, October 17th show. Still, while they are finally getting a wave of happy times, trouble could be brewing. Smitty is very cautious about the role June should be playing in his children's lives. During Thursday's show, the biomom will give Tyrell some advice. Tyrell has been reluctant about allowing his mother in, so how will he take the words of wisdom she brings forth? Even more so, how will Smitty feel about it when he learns about what June has done? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Thursday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. Here's what went down Wednesday, October 26, 2025, on Beyond the Gates. When a health scare with Peaches got to Leslie's pit, the Hawthornes continued to steer their way through the tsunami their almost parenthood caused, and Vanessa proved that the number of people she cared about was limited to one. On Beyond the Gates, Joey wanted to be sure Vanessa had just said she wanted to be his equal in his business, or at least as close as an ambitious girl could get, she clarified. The casino owner was satisfied with their current arrangement, but Vanessa grumbled that he was only getting about 10% of her abilities. "Use me," Vanessa implored. Joey shook his head, acknowledging Vanessa's sense of adventure, but warning that she really didn't know what she would be getting into. Vanessa didn't flinch, as Joey suggested she tag along with Randy, who was out physically intimidating debtors into paying up. She didn't want to be another Randy, she insisted. She wanted to be another Joey. The realtor seemed cowed when Joey explained that aspects of his work were darker than Vanessa could even know, but she quickly rebounded and told Joey it was the danger of it all that gave her the high. Joey reluctantly outlined his way of life, noting that it involved degrees of risk which he had learned to be zen about. He looked Vanessa right in the eye when he said he eliminated any threat that posed itself. "I am never going to prison," Armstrong promised, "because I'll never allow anyone to be able to make that happen, and period," he finished, stoic. "Who are we talking about exactly?" Vanessa wanted to know. Vanessa remembered that Joey had once identified Doug as just such a threat. Joey maintained that he hadn't been involved in Doug's fatal car accident and that his existence required a kind of discretion he wasn't sure Vanessa could exhibit. To that end, Joey wanted to talk about Donnell, who seemed determined to know everything about what was going on. The widow McBride was disturbed by Joey implying the lengths he'd go to remain free and mentioning her son in the same breath. Joey informed Vanessa that she had to think beyond her own gratification. Working beside him would earn her a reputation that Donnell would certainly become privy to. Given that the college student had already learned unpleasant things about his father, which he hadn't been aware of, Joey worried that Donnell would also lose faith in Vanessa if he gave her the opportunity she was asking for. Vanessa flared that Donnell was her son, and that she'd worry about him. Other than that, Vanessa wanted what she wanted, and she gave Joey a sultry smooch before leaving him to consider things. Nicole ran into Leslie and Peaches at the country club. Leslie wanted to be sure that Nicole was now going by her maiden name of Dupri, so that no one would be confused when she became the new Mrs. Richardson. Peaches watched uncomfortably as Leslie continued to taunt Nicole, who didn't care whether or not Leslie married Ted. Nicole regarded Leslie as a neutralized threat and introduced herself to Peaches before she walked out. Leslie looked dissatisfied, and outside in the lobby, Nicole took a few seconds to get herself together. Leslie complained about her dinner so much that Peaches was ready to leave and have takeout at her apartment instead. When Leslie replied that she wanted Peaches to have a taste of the good life and soak in the history of Fairmont Crest, Peaches said that money didn't buy class, and that Leslie was just mad because Nicole wasn't having Leslie's attempts to humiliate her. Leslie balked, but Peaches intuited that Leslie felt less than, and therefore she took things out on other people. As Leslie argued her own points, Peaches began coughing uncontrollably. Though Leslie was desperate to get her surrogate mother medical help, Peaches didn't want a doctor and asked Leslie to take her home. At Uptown, Eva was leaving Ted a voice reminder when she overheard a young man pleading with his fountain pen to work. Eva liked to use those writing implements as well and lent him hers. He soon managed to break the pen and decided he should stop working so he could pay more attention to his surroundings. The man introduced himself as Isaiah, and Eva could see that he was studying for a test that would get him into graduate school. He admitted he was older than the average student, but went on that one was never too old to go for a degree. Isaiah revealed that he was a counselor who helped others earn advanced degrees, and he was hoping to get work at Banneker University. Isaiah added that he was from the area, but he had just moved back from the Pacific Northwest. Eva responded that she hadn't lived in the DMV long, but that so far, her time there had been eventful. Isaiah was surprised to hear that Eva worked for her father, which he couldn't imagine doing with his own. His father would just as soon crush his dreams than support them. Eva encouraged Isaiah to elaborate, but he didn't want to dump his family drama on someone he had just met. Hearing that Isaiah's relatives had had different dreams for him than he'd had for himself, Eva let him know that she could relate. Isaiah said he was fulfilled in his work and only needed enough cash for gas, a roof, and going out with good company. Things were vibing between Eva and Isaiah when she got a text from Leslie. She had to go, but promised he could return her now broken pen next time. Leslie hurried into Eva's apartment, going over how it seemed like Peaches had needed an ambulance while they were at the country club. Eva was worried to hear how Peaches had been coughing so hard, by Leslie's estimation, that the woman's lungs were about to give out. Leslie had to admit that Peaches' attack had been caused by the argument they'd been having. Eva expressed dismay that Leslie had picked a fight with an old, frail, dying woman. Leslie tried to own her part in things, adding that the incident had made her realize she and Eva only had so much time with Peaches. Eva shared Leslie's torment when Ms. Tomas explained how she'd had to lay the weak Peaches, who had insisted on not seeing a doctor, flat on her back seat, and then all but carry Peaches into her home. Leslie was heartbroken that she was now the parent while Peaches was the child, and that she would outlive the mother who had raised her. Eva assured Leslie that they would navigate Peaches' illness and eventual passing together. Jacob needed a moment, finally saying that he was dismayed that Naomi hadn't told him about the pregnancy test results immediately. Naomi was honest and admitted she hadn't been ready to have another tough conversation with her husband. She was certain they were going to have a fight about their differing feelings regarding her not being pregnant. Jacob said he wasn't angry, not even about how Naomi had gone off on him a few days earlier. Naomi appreciated that Jacob was disappointed and that he hadn't yet had any time to process the news he wasn't going to be a father. He was grateful when she gave him the space to mourn. The Hawthornes began to kiss passionately, but Naomi pulled back. Naomi wanted Jacob to see that making love wasn't the answer to everything anymore. She confessed that, after her sense of release over learning she wouldn't be a parent, she had thought about Jacob and their marriage. Naomi was afraid that they'd opened up some kind of Pandora's box, and that they wouldn't be able to get their relationship back on track because of the inevitable resentment Jacob would feel about not being a father, despite having been close enough to touch it. Jacob was adamant that, although he was as strong-willed as Naomi, he didn't see not having a child as something Naomi was taking away from him. Naomi countered that he was giving up something important that he hadn't realized he'd wanted just by virtue of being with her. Jacob didn't necessarily think that parenthood was his destiny and felt that their love outshined even that. Naomi was in agreement with Jacob that they had both signed up for whatever their marriage brought them. As Anita watched, Vernon fawned over Rosamond, a socialite who had just made a generous donation to his foundation. Rosamond barely acknowledged Anita and seemed to flirt openly with Vernon. Afterwards, Vernon deemed a jealous Anita Dupri the biggest turn-on he knew. Anita corrected that she was annoyed, then coquettishly asked if her annoyance made her seem hard to get. Just as the Dupris were about to get frisky, Nicole rushed through the door and said she owed her parents an apology for inflicting Leslie on them. Anita and Vernon stood united in saying it hadn't been Nicole who had brought Leslie into their lives. That responsibility fell on Ted. Nicole felt she had been wrong to insist that Anita stop putting money into the trust she'd established for Barbara just because Leslie was its beneficiary. She knew how important symbolically making things up to Barbara had been to her mother. Just as Nicole was announcing that she wasn't going to let Leslie get to her anymore, the construction crew across the street noisily began again in earnest despite the late hour. Nicole and Anita were miffed when Vernon investigated and found out Leslie had paid the foreman extra to work into the evening. Vernon had gotten the building to stop by invoking the rules Fairmont Crest had about construction, only happening during certain hours. Anita was pleased and announced that she had made the decision to stop adding funds to Barbara's trust. Both Vernon and Nicole were relieved to hear the news. After Nicole left, Anita lamented that Nicole's outward strength was often practiced and that she was more vulnerable than she let on. The matriarch figured Nicole needed her parents to think she was okay, which would pave the way for that in reality. The patriarch agreed, and the longtime marrieds became amorous anew, deciding to take their elevator to their bedroom because it was faster. Meanwhile, Shanice found Nicole at Uptown. After exchanging pleasantries with the off-duty nurse's supervisor, Nicole texted Carlton, who came running upon hearing she needed a friend. Mr. Fitzgerald gently held the former Mrs. Richardson. Beyond the gates, spoilers indicate some bombshells the week of October 20th, 24th, and there are also some casting changes to talk about too. Who's coming and who's going on the CBS soap over the next 5 days? Read more below. Beyond the Gates will celebrate its second CBS soap crossover storyline this week as the bold and the beautiful's Ridge Forrester, played by Thorsten Kaye, arrives on the scene. BTG spoilers for the Friday, October 24th. Episode reveal that Dani Dupri has an update for Ridge. So could this be about her new modeling agency and Forrester Creations? Will she supply models for the fashion house? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Meanwhile, the much-anticipated debut of Jacob Hawthorne's brother, Isaiah Hawthorne, will occur when actor David Lamy Freeby debuts on the Wednesday, October 22nd episode. He'll have an encounter with Eva Tomas. So it looks like sparks will fly as the two get their flirt on at Uptown. In additional casting news, BTG viewers will see June, played by Jasmine Burke, during the Thursday, October 23rd episode, as she gives her bio son, Triel Richardson, played by Jaden Lucas Miller, some advice. How will Martin Richardson and Bradley Smitty Smith feel about this? Meanwhile, Randy Parker, played by Maurice P. Carey, will be seen during the week of October 2024 as he continues to scheme with his cousin and co-conspirator Haley Hamilton, played by Marquita Goings. However, will the two get caught? During the weekly preview, Dani and Vanessa McBride are at Uptown and talk about how they know the man chatting with Haley at the bar. Vanessa refers to Randy as Randy, while Dani notes his name is Sammy. Joey Armstrong will confront Randy about this, so how will the henchman cover his tracks? What character are you most excited about seeing during the week of October 2024? Comment below, watch your favorite CBS soap daily, and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates, spoilers, news, and updates. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!